It can be really disappointing when things just don't go your way. And that's what we're going to talk about in this episode of Wonderful Life, how to deal with disappointment. Hi, I'm Mary Dittman. I'm an award-winning business professor on the collegiate level and the creator of College on Fleek and One-Derful Life. One-Derful Life is my way of explaining how it feels when you've made peace with being single. I know that there are women out there who say, I don't want to get married, or I don't want to get married again, I don't want a man, but I've never felt that way. I've always wanted to be married and have a family, but I'm well over 40 and it hasn't worked out for me. And for a long time, that was really a source of sadness for me because part of my definition of a fulfilled life includes being a wife and a mother. But I got to the point where I said, listen, the singleness doesn't seem to be changing and it might not change, and I just want to be happy. And that's what Wonderful Life is about. It's not about getting to a place where you have sour grapes and you say, well, I don't want a man because I want a man. And it's not about resigning and giving up and saying, well, I guess I'm just going to be alone forever, might as well make the best of it. Wonderful Life is about creating a life where you're happy and peaceful and content, you're in the moment, because that's the type of energy that's going to attract your Mr. Right. But even if he never shows up, you're happy anyway, and isn't that what you wanted? We've all experienced disappointment, that feeling of, kind of like bummer, like things didn't go the way I wanted them to. And sometimes it could be something as minor as you tried a new flavor of gum and you're like, oh, I didn't like it. Or it could be something like, wow, I went out with this guy a few times and then I never heard from him again. Disappointment, if you have an easy time navigating it and bouncing back from it, great, good for you. Sometimes I've struggled with disappointment, and if that disappointment really gets a hold of you, it can take you down and you can start to spiral down into despair or even depression. So I want to show you some ways that you can help yourself get through disappointment a little bit more quickly. Number one, you've got to tell yourself this is what was supposed to happen. Marie Forleo says that maybe you should say, and this is exactly what I wanted. But for me, I don't like to use that because it just feels disingenuous. And listen, when you're lying to your brain knows it and it won't get on board with that. So when you say, oh, I'm really happy being single, and you're not, your brain just goes you liar. And then you get that feeling inside where you just can't feel, you can say the words, but you're not happy being single because you're not. But what I've learned to say is, okay, this is what is supposed to be happening. How do you know that? Because it's happening. It doesn't mean you like it, but it's what is supposed to be happening. Now, personally, I really hate it when people say, everything happens for a reason. No, it doesn't. I think a lot of times that's something that we say because we want to have a sense of control in an uncontrollable situation. For example, when my stepmom died, she committed suicide and she'd struggled with years for depression. And so, no, well, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, the reason is she was depressed and it got the best of her, and in a moment, she was gone. I would never recommend that you say to someone who's lost a child, well, everything happens for a reason, praise the Lord. Sometimes the reason things happen is because we're in a messed up world and people do stupid things. But I do think that something good can come out of any situation if we are willing to look for the good. I think we can learn from any situation. And the truth is, if something happened, then it happened. There have been many times where I was up for a promotion and should have gotten the promotion. Even other people would say, you're going to get that promotion. And I was the most qualified. I'd been training for the position. I should have gotten the promotion, and I didn't. And if you've ever been through something like that, it just feels so wrong. It just feels like there's been some huge cosmic mistake. But every time something like that has happened down the road, I ended up in a better position. Maybe not a promotion, but a different position where I was actually happier than I would have been had I gotten that promotion that I so wanted. You know, we never know how things fit together in the whole big picture, and we never know what's coming down the road, but I don't believe that the universe is random. Deepak Chopra says the probability that things are just random in the universe is the same as the probability that a tornado goes through a junkyard and you end up with a fully assembled Airbus A321. So clearly this universe is ordered, okay? An embryo becomes a baby, a bud becomes a flower, an acorn becomes a tree, there are seasons, okay? So we just have to make the choice to say, okay, maybe this isn't happening to me, it's happening for me, and if I'm willing to look for the benefit or the good here, I will find it. Maybe not today, but eventually. Number 2, what can you do differently next time? Perhaps you can look at the situation and say, okay, is there anything that I could have done differently? The way I've heard it described, and I like this because I'm a teacher, is that when life gives you a lesson, you get to take that lesson as many times as it takes for you to pass it. So when you're really disappointed, let's say you went out on 3 really great dates with this guy and then he ghosted, you never heard from him again, and you're really disappointed about it. Well, what you could do is you could even look at that and say, okay, is there anything I could have done differently next time? And maybe the answer is, well, you know, by date 3, yeah, I was excited and I liked him, but maybe I'm just a little bit too emotionally invested here. Like, it really upset me when I didn't hear from him. So, you know, maybe I just was too into this without knowing him or knowing the situation. Maybe it's that you have to detach from the outcome. Detach doesn't mean you don't care, okay? Detach means the outcome is irrelevant. Let me give you an example. Earlier in 2019, I launched a merchandise line for One-Derful Life and also for my College on Fleek brand. And so, like, that's the t-shirts that you'll see me wearing, or like the coffee mug. And that's why I say at the end of the show, you know, if you go to wonderfullife.com, you can check out the merchandise. Okay, so I didn't get into merchandise because I want to sell merchandise. Like, I don't care. We don't sell very much of it, and it's fine. Like, I seriously do not care. And actually, the quality is really good. I buy the stuff for myself because I like it. Like, I don't want a thin, flimsy t-shirt. I hate that. But I like the merchandise. And of course, you know, I like it because it has my brand on it. It literally does not affect me when I might go a month and sell nothing. In fact, other than me, my biggest customer is my mom. Love you, Mom. But seriously, it doesn't disappoint me. I have no attachment to that outcome. Why? The point of me doing it was not to, like, I'm going to launch this line and I'm going to make X amount a month, or I'm going to make so much money, but I don't care. Okay, that's detachment from the outcome. So if you're going to work every day and you're doing what you're doing because you're like, I really want to get this promotion. Okay, here's the problem. If you don't get the promotion, now you're not motivated. You're like, okay, screw it. I'm not going to keep busting my butt. If you're not attached to the outcome, you say, you know what? I'm doing a good job just because I like doing a good job. It feels good to me. And that leads me to my 3rd step, which is asking yourself, what will make me feel better now? So let's go back to the example of you didn't get the promotion. What's going to make me feel better now? Maybe it would be you take a day off and, like, go get a massage or get a facial, or yeah, you binge on some Netflix. Maybe what would really make you feel better is update your resume and find a different job. Maybe you go to a kickboxing class. Maybe you go get your nails done. Maybe you vent to a friend. Let's say that guy ghosted on you after 3 dates and, you know, you're sad and you feel kind of hurt about it. Okay, for real, if the only thing that's going to truly make you feel better is a pint of ice cream, okay. Now, I'm going to just gently suggest, no judgment, that pint of ice cream later, you're not going to feel good about that. Whatever you need to do, girl. But would it be maybe going to a yoga class? Or sometimes when I'm feeling kind of sad and disappointed, I'll watch Wonder Woman from 2017 because she's such a butt kicker. It just makes me feel great. And this isn't about avoidance. It's not about, well, I'm going to go do something and try to forget this. No, it's about saying, I want to feel good. And so if I'm disappointed, I'm down here and I feel disappointed, it's not that, well, let me see, what can I find that'll take me from disappointed to totally okay with it? No, that's a big jump. Maybe you say, okay, I feel really disappointed, I feel sad. What could get me to a place where I just feel like maybe just acceptance? Like that might just a little baby step. What would get me to acceptance? And that's the way that you can start to deal with disappointment so that it doesn't take roots and then keep you down. Because disappointment can really rattle your confidence if you don't get a handle on it. Now, maybe what you need to get a handle on is a broken heart. If that's something that you're struggling with, you might want to check out our ABCs of Healing. That's a free video where we show you how to get through a broken heart and move on. It's completely free. You can go to bit.ly/ABCs of Healing. You'll have immediate access, 24/7. You can watch it as many times as you want to. It's got like a cheat sheet to help you out too. Now, Wonderful Life is a dialogue, not a monologue, and we want to hear from you. What's your best hack for dealing with disappointment? Put that in the comments. You can always connect with us at wonderfullife.com. We post a new blog there every Friday. You might want to join our newsletter list. I already told you about the cute merchandise, but I don't care if you buy anything or not. I mean it. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Wonderful Life.